Hello and welcome to No Particular Order, Mana Biscuit's weekly top 5 list show where we list our top 5 whatevers in no particular order. This week, top 5 board card games that you play on a table. All right, as always, we're going to get right into our list this week. Top 5 board games, but some of them are card games because certain people, not going to name names,
Me.
can't handle simple rules. All right, so Jay, why don't you share with us the list that forced us to stretch our definition?
Okay, well, as already stated, I'm not a big rules guy. I'm also not I'm not a big board game guy, but I am a card game guy. So mine are all, for the most part, card games that may or may not have a little bit of a board to them. But
Oh, just get
first
on
one,
with your list.
all right, first one is cribbage. Love the hell out of the game. Have played since I was probably 8 years old. It's one of those things my grandmother taught me, and then when I lived up north, there was really nothing to do other than drink and play cards, and I got pretty good at both. The other game that I used to play, and on my top five on this one, is euchre. Again, learned when I was really
Blah.
love the game.
Euchre's a great game.
Have actually competed with playing that game. Next up on the list is something that's near and dear to my heart. The game is called Coup. The it's a card game, again, amazingly good as far as a 4 to 5 person game goes, and it's one of the first things that we played at Gen Con in the free games table, and that makes it awesome. Next up on the list, and oh no, second to last, is Werewolf. Werewolf, great party game. Again, killing your friends, lying to people, all that other good stuff. Loads of fun. Last up is the last up. I honestly, I don't play the game for the sake of playing the game. I play the game because it's got all sorts of trivia to it, and that's Trivial Pursuit. Honestly, I'll just sit there and play with the cards and try to answer the questions. That's my top five.
All right, Jay is now on the record on YouTube saying that he kills for fun. Um,
I killed for fun. Oh, with Werewolf, yes.
yeah. All right. Anyway, TJ, why don't you come up next?
All right. The first on my list is a game called Cosmic Encounter, in which each person is the leader of an alien race in an intergalactic war. It's a lot of fun, wildly disparate power sets. No two games are exactly alike, and there's a lot of interesting scheming and backbiting and alliances and stuff that have to take place at the table, because you'll always end up with one person who ends up with a really, really overpowered alien species. Next on my list, and really dear to my heart, is a game called Arkham Horror, based off of the works of H.P. Lovecraft. It is astonishingly good. It takes forever, and it is very difficult, but overall, it's just one of the best games ever devised. Coming up next on my list is Pandemic, which is another cooperative game in which you're trying to eliminate a handful of diseases that are trying to destroy the world. It's a really fun game. It's, again, very difficult, but it has to be because it's a co-op game, just like Arkham Horror that I listed before. And I do enjoy that kind of Euro game where you're playing as a group against the game as opposed to playing against one another. Up next is Risk, mostly because of the super extended games of Risk that myself and some of my friends have had over the years, like multiple day games of Risk. And it's an early game to learn for a lot of people, but remains a valid and viable game for a lifetime. And then the last on my list is a game called Love Letter, which is a card-based game. It's amazing, and it's so compact that I actually carry it with me everywhere I go. It's in my coat pocket, so no matter where I am, I have it with me and I can bust it out. The meta of the game sounds ridiculous because it's ostensibly about a handful of nobles trying to sneak love letters into a castle because they're trying to woo a princess. But there are a bunch of different re-themes for it. There's a Batman version of the game. Yep. There's all kinds of different versions, and just the deduction based and bluff based gameplay is fantastic.
I can attest to TJ carrying that everywhere. Last time he came down to my apartment to play video games, I thought he was really happy to see me, but that was just a love letter in his pocket.
You realize that so far between the two of us, we have lies and manipulation amongst our friends. It seems to be a common theme thus far.
I think friends just love to lie to each other. I think that's how friendships are built, on a foundation of mistrust and antagonism.
Exactly how TJ and I became friends.
Shut it.
No, before I get into my list, I did want to mention one thing, maybe as a pre-honorable mention. I don't know if anybody's played it or if it's even released yet, but the mashup between Arkham Horror and Pandemic. Have you seen that?
No.
It's basically, it's not just a reskin, it's a full retooling, but it's using the Pandemic's core system in a Lovecraftian mythos. Should be really fun. All right. Yeah. Anyway, all right, let me get into my list and we'll get this over with. Oh, that's not me. That's TJ. Hi.
Hey.
All right. First up on my list is actually it was a follow-up to Pandemic, although it is a very different game. Forbidden Island. Fantastic game. Very frenetic pace. Very few cooperative board games make me feel as much constantly in danger as Forbidden Island has. I mean, the game is designed literally that this island is sinking beneath your feet. It's a fantastic cooperative game. Feels really good when you win, and I don't think I'll ever be good enough to play on the elite difficulty setting. But yeah, but yeah, it's a blast to play, win or lose. All right, next up, Munchkin. Particularly in my case, Adventure Time Munchkin. There's a shout out to my brother and my nephew. I taught him, my 10.5-year-old nephew, how to play to win with Munchkin. Because it's all about screwing everyone else over and taking as much as you can, putting other people in terrible positions and then offering to help them for a cut of the loot. Yes, I am teaching my 10.5-year-old nephew valuable life lessons. Next up is another game that I've played a lot with my nephew and my brother and their family, and that's King of New York, follow-up / variant of King of Tokyo, which itself is a really good game. But King of New York adds a lot of extra elements that make it, in my estimation, an even better game. Then I have the classic, commonly and trademarked as Chutes and Ladders, but, historically Snakes and Ladders. There's just something great about a purely random game that's not really a game. And the idea, I put it on my list because of its history as sort of a philosophical life lesson as opposed to an actual game. And I think that that's really good. And then last on my list is a game that's, on paper, it's a terrible game. I mean, it's a kid's game. It's very clearly designed to be a kid's game. But it taught me how to play to win at a very young age when I realized that I could stack the deck in my favor and win every time at Candyland. And it made me the type of person that I am today, making friendships based on mistrust and
Did you know they can't do that anymore?
What? Did they take away the deck?
They took away the deck. It's now a spinner.
Oh, Lord.
Where you just flick the spinner and it goes to a color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess...
if it wasn't a poor game to begin with, it is now.
Yeah.
All right. Top 5 of the top 5.
No, honorable mentions. And I have one that I've never played, but I can't believe you guys don't have on your honorable mention list. And it's that, what is that Star Wars game you guys always used to play?
Epic Duels.
Epic Duels, yes. Yeah.
Man, one of my absolute favorite games.
Yeah.
Absolute favorite games. And it does deserve to be an honorable mention, if not on a list.
Not on a list, yeah.
Yeah, Jay's like, I don't like games. I'm gonna put Euchre on my list, but screw Epic Duels.
I didn't even think about Epic Duels, man. It's been so long since I've played that personally, but that game, like, I wanted to play it at the free games thing at Gen Con.
You know, honestly,
But some little 8-year-old stole it from me.
honestly,
and I
this
was
year
gonna
at Gen
drop
Con,
kick.
I think I might just want to spend 4 straight days in that
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that room. It could be awesome. Maybe not. Maybe
And
there's
if that
other things.
4-year-old's in there and steals
Yeah.
my game again, I'll drop kick him.
Well, I have a copy in my possession if you want to play it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
All right, so top 5 of the top 5. First up, Epic Duels because oversight. Next up for my list, Forbidden Island. Because I know TJ wanted that on his list as well. From TJ's list, I will say Arkham Horror, and I'm also going to say Pandemic. So that puts us at 4. We should probably get one. We should probably get one from your list just so you feel included.
My list doesn't matter. My list is personal taste and preference. You guys have some really good stuff on yours.
Okay.
So,
I don't like Candyland necessarily, but
Love Letter.
Love Letter.
Love
All
Letter,
right,
okay.
Love Letter.
All right, so
TJ
TJ,
can have Love
If
Letter.
nothing else, to represent all of our misdirection and hate.
That's right. That's right, because that
Actually,
is
from my list, I'll go Coup.
Okay.
all right. Okay. I don't even care. Let's just get this over with. All right.
There's your top 5 to 7 in no particular order.
Yeah, top 5 to 7, and yeah, you got a couple of honorable mentions, and you got our list. Leave your list in the comments if you have suggestions for things that we should do for lists in the future. Go ahead and leave them either on the YouTube video as a comment or on the Facebook page. As we've mentioned before, we read both of those. When we consolidate comments on the main show, we only go with the YouTube comments if there are any. But you can get a hold of us or leave ideas for us in any case. We do read those and respond to those, and we appreciate those. So thumbs up the video, subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you next week with more No Particular Order. Bye-bye.
Bye.